This is Spanish 2 PPI vocab 1 through 5. Okay? On every list, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start covering up the English and letting you look at the 5 Spanish words for a few seconds. Either try to say them out loud in English if you want, or take a piece of paper and try to write down. This is like a pre-test to see if you know them. Now, if you don't know them, watch the clip. And if you know them all, there's probably no reason for you to watch the clip. All right, so again, if you need more time, you can push pause and take all the time you want to say them out loud or write them down. All right, I'm going to say each word in English, then Spanish, and clap. And I'd like you to repeat what I just said. Okay, here we go. The actor, el actor. The actor, el actor. Number 2, the actress, la actriz. The actress, la actriz. Number 3, the male fan, el aficionado. The male fan, el aficionado. The female fan, la aficionada. The female fan, la aficionada. The cheerleader, la animadora. The cheerleader, la animadora. Number 5, the male artist, el artista. The male artist, el artista. And finally, the female artist, la artista. The female artist, la artista. This will be true for all of your vocabulary words this year. If it's green, it means they're exactly the same in English and Spanish. Okay? Real easy. No worries. Okay? So you're not going to miss el actor. Now, number 2, the actress. Notice, in English it has 2 S's, but in Spanish it has 1 Z. I want you to realize there are only 4 letters in Spanish that are ever doubled. C-E-L-R. It looks like the word seller. I've got a nice clip that explains that. So you're never going to have a double S. You're never going to have a double T. You're never going to have a double M. Again, the only 4 letters that are ever doubled in Spanish are C-E-L-R. Just remember the word seller. That'll help. All right. Fan. The male fan is el aficionado. Notice there's a letter A, like A, and then F-A-N, the letter's fan. All right? If that doesn't help, I know a guy who's really into sports. I mean, he loves all the sports. He's an ESPN junkie. He's such a big sports fan. He's even a fan of fictional sports. I'm not making this up. He's in these things called fantasy leagues, and he gets all excited when these imaginary teams that don't even exist win. So he's into fantasy sports. So he's such a big sports fan, he even likes fictional teams. And if a girl is like that, she's aficionada. Because remember, O means you're describing a boy, and A means you're describing a girl. Okay? Cheerleader is animadora. Everybody say animated. Animated. The purpose of a cheerleader is to get the crowd animated. And so it sort of looks like animated. Also, adore is a person who, like a matador is a person that kills bulls. Jugar is to play. A jugador is a person that plays sports. So, anytime you see a word that ends in adore, it's a person who. I remember it like this. I adore a person who. Okay? So, animadora is a person who gets the crowd animated. Also, visualize a girl named Annie, like Little Orphan Annie. Annie got mad when she didn't make it as a cheerleader. Annie got mad when she didn't make it as a cheerleader. So, animadora. You're not going to miss artist. The thing that's tricky about artist is if it's a male artist, it ends in A. 99% of the time in Spanish. If you're talking about a boy, it ends in O. Boys' names, Pedro, Paco, Chico, Alto. But this is one of the very few words in Spanish that it ends in A, but it's masculine. El artista is the male artist, and la artista is female artist. All right. What I'm going to do now is give you a chance to see if you've learned anything. All right. So I'm going to cover up these words in Spanish, and now I want you to try to say the Spanish equivalent of these words or write them down. Okay? So again, at the very beginning of every list, you can quiz yourself. Look at the Spanish and see if you know the English, and then when we get to the end, I'll show you the English, and we'll see if you remember the Spanish. And again, you can write that down, or you can say it out loud. Take as much time as you need. That was Spanish 2 PPI Vocab 1 through 5.